In this video, we're going to go over easy exercises to help you quickly pass gas. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over easy exercises that are going to help stimulate and massage the bowels and intestines, get everything stirred up. That way you can quickly pass gas, wind, or take a big satisfying fart. Just don't do these in an elevator. A note about these exercises, each one works just a little bit differently. To get the best results, go through them all, use what gives you the most relief. With that being said, let's get started. This exercise is a modified version of what we call the happy baby. It pretty much relaxes the whole body. What we're going to do is lie flat on our back in bed or on a floor. Bend your knees and put your legs together. Take your hands and cup around your knees. What you want to do is a light pumping motion, bringing your knees towards your chest. So just hook your knees and pull your knees up towards your chest. When I do this, what I like to do is feel a light stretch form right here over the back of my thighs that works towards my glutes right here, the buttocks, and then finally into the lower back. It should almost feel like your tailbone is starting to curl up also. But hold this one comfortably for about 3 to 5 seconds and then just relax. And then repeat this about 10 to 15 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. And with this one too, it can definitely stir things up pretty quickly. So if you get the urge to do a little toot, definitely let it out. But this is how we can take this one to the next level and put some more motions in there to really get things stirred up. So let's get back into our original position of pulling our knees towards our chest. We're going to hold this position and now do a rocking motion like this from side to side. So go from left to right. Focus on moving through your hips, pelvis, and lower back. And just do this gently for about 15 to 20 seconds. Relax, and then repeat a couple more times. If you find any of these movements really are helping you out a little bit more, at that point, just throw some more repetitions in. So here's a couple more exercises that you can do in bed or on a floor. These ones are going to focus a little bit more on rotation or twisting motions across the pelvis to hopefully get everything loose and pass some gas. This first one is called the scorpion. To get into position, we're going to lie on our stomach like this. I like to support my upper body weight on my forearms. They're roughly in a V shape and I just put my hands together. Let's just make sure everything in our upper body is nice and relaxed. From here, we're going to bend our knees at 90 degrees and then put our legs together. Now, moving through our hips and our lower back, what we're going to do is slowly lower our legs and feet towards one side. As you do this, you should feel a really good stretch form in the lower back that works downward into the hips. Once you feel a light, comfortable stretch, you're going to hold this for a second or two, and then just like a windshield wiper, just go towards the other side. Repeat this about 10 to 15 times in both directions, and with each repetition, build into it just a little bit more. This is a really good exercise for helping to pass gas because it loosens things up, but it's also really good for things like constipation and just general back pain. So another variation that we can do is what is called the corkscrew. For this one, we're going to flip over on our back just like this. Let's straighten one leg and then the other leg is going to go bent at 90 degrees. Doesn't matter which knee it is that is facing upward because we're going to do this on both sides. So you're going to take the hand on the other side and hook right on the outside of your knee. Now, moving through your lower back and through your hips, what you're going to do is just slowly pull this knee across your body until you feel a really good stretch forming across the hip that works into the lower back. A note with this exercise too, a lot of people like this one, including myself, because if your back is locked up, you might get a sudden pop, crack, or release in it. And if that's the case, that's completely normal. This just puts a lot of good mobility into the back, but just don't try to force it. Instead, hold this one comfortably for a second or two. You're going to relax, and then you're going to repeat this on the other side. Again, do this one nice and slowly for about 10 to 15 repetitions on both sides. So if you're dealing with a lot of built up gas causing bloating, but also a lot of constipation to the point where you just can't go to the bathroom, give this exercise a try. I call this one the natural pooing position. So a lot of people, when they're on the toilet, they tend to just lean forward like this. It's actually a bad position because what it does is it actually kinks the rectum to the point where you just can't go. Think of a hose. If you basically just take it like this and kink it off, what happens with the water flow? It doesn't happen. So what we need to do is unkink that rectum, just allow that gravy train to flow, and hopefully just get rid of a lot of that bloating. So for this one, you can do it in a chair, even on a toilet. The only thing that you need is something to put your feet up on. So just grab a trash basket, something like this, and you're just going to put it right out in front of you. Just put your feet up on it. And with this one, I like to take my knees and just put them out just a little bit until I feel a really light stretch forming on the inner part of my thighs that works towards the groin. You can just put your hands up like this. The key is relax into this as much as you can, because in this position with your knees higher than your hips, what it's going to do is help unkink the rectum to the point where it relaxes that whole pathway that you go to the bathroom. So hopefully not only are you going to be able to pass gas, but also hopefully be able to poo a little bit easier. So for this one, again, relaxation is key, and the results might be immediate, but it also might take some time. It might take 30 seconds, a couple minutes. What I like to do is just kind of zone out. I close my eyes, I focus on my breathing, just go to my happy place, meditate, whatever you want to do. Just relax as much as you can, and if you feel the urge to finally pass gas or finally go to the bathroom, just let that gravy train flow. So from here, what we can do is take this one to the next level by putting some more movements in there to get things stirred up. The easiest movement is to do a pelvic tilt. So imagine your tailbone right here. What you want to do is just curl it upward towards your belly button. The more that you curl it upward, the more that you're going to feel a lot of muscles across the hips and the pelvic floor start to fire. Just a light, gentle stretch. Hold that for a second or two, and then go in reverse, taking your tailbone and just pressing it downward like this. So it should feel like your hips are rocking backward and forward. Do this about 10 to 15 times and just build into it as much as you can. Some more movements that you can do just a light twisting motion from side to side. You can also do a tilting motion, just kind of tilting your shoulder towards one side and then the other side. But go through all of these movements. You're probably going to find that one just helps you out a little bit more, and just build into that as much as you can. And I hope that that helps you pass gas and also helps you relieve your constipation. So let's build off the natural pooing position by doing another one that will help stimulate the bowels and intestines, but also help strengthen our whole lower body. This is called the Goblet Squat. Let's break it down to make it a little bit easier. You're going to start standing with your feet wider than your hips. Point your toes out slightly, about 5 to 10 degrees, to help take tension off the knees. Then you're going to place all of your body weight on your heels during this exercise. Next, you're going to take your hands, put them together in a prayer position, and then just lightly press your hands into your chest during the exercise. What this will do is help keep your back straight during the exercise and protect the spine. So we definitely don't want to round into it like this. Next, we're going to brace our core muscles. It's kind of like when somebody pokes you in your stomach, how you tense up. Mimic that. Again, that will help protect the back. From here, we're going to squeeze our glutes right here, the buttocks, to make sure that we get those to fire. So after we've done all of that, now we can do the goblet squat. Let's bend our knees and then squat our bottom down and away as much as we can. The further that you go down, the more that you're going to feel the muscles across the legs, into the hips, into the back start to fire. This is also a natural pooing position. I'm sure that if you've ever been out in the woods and had to pop a squat, this looks pretty familiar. So go down as far as you can. Hold this comfortably for about 3 to 5 seconds and then come back up, take a breather. And then repeat this about 10 to 15 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it a little bit more by going further down and maybe holding it for a little bit longer. But with this one, you might get the urge to have to take a big healthy poo. So if that's the case, definitely run towards the bathroom. But afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.